The next video is actually going to be very different to anything I've done before. It's going to be more focused on just traveling around Sydney, having fun. Well, that's what this video was supposed to be about anyway. When I realized that I was spending way too much time thinking about how I could make the most of the holidays, I figured it might make for a more interesting or maybe lame video than just me eating food. Yep, I'm pretty fun at parties. Well, I've never had a 9-to-5 job, so basically my perspective is just based on an Australian student's academic schedule. So yeah, I definitely don't want to sound ungrateful that I even get holidays in the first place. It's pretty great. But if you really think about it, the idea of having a holiday is kind of weird, right? So if you look at a calendar year, it's just a constant cycle of working and working and working, followed by a fraction of that time off, and then back to work. And holidays are the time of the year where people get to do things, right? I mean, during that time off, lots of people get to have fun. They often find themselves at the beach, or visiting landmarks, or watching their teams win the Champions League final for the second time in their club's history. Please! Yes! And eating good food with friends. But others like to try and use their holidays to be really productive, reflect, learn new skills, and reorganize themselves for when work starts up again. I've always tried to do a mixture of both and can safely say that I have wasted a lot of my time. Thinking back to what I've done, it's always been a constant cycle of being lazy and then developing bad habits, which led to wasting day after day, and then eventually realizing that I wanted to spend my time a bit better. I would overcompensate by trying really hard to organize and plan, do way too much in the little time I had left of my holidays. That basically sums it up pretty well. I guess it only took me 23 years to figure out that I need to spend my holidays a bit differently. So I think I've always tried to justify being lazy during the holidays as relaxing. And I used to binge watch shows all the time to relax. I've watched How I Met Your Mother 10 times through, Parks and Rec 8 or 9 times through, and a bunch of other TV shows, movies, etc. That meant not really doing anything all day, lying in bed, not exercising, not eating at the right times, and yeah, you get the idea. That is a lot of time I am never getting back. But relaxing doesn't really have to mean being lazy and developing bad habits and throwing away all the good ones. Obviously, I don't think it's healthy to think about what I could have done better with that time, because I'm never getting it back anyway. But since I'm old and not any fun anymore, I don't really watch that many shows. And I guess that probably means that I can start to try new things that I've always wanted to do. I'm the kind of person who wants to try everything but ends up being good at none of them. Here's a list of all the things that I've tried over the years, and well, out of all of those, these are the things that I actually stuck with. Despite my embarrassing track record, I actually still think it's a good thing. Maybe you noticed that making videos was on that list, and well, if I hadn't tried that a few years ago, I wouldn't be here right now. That being said, it doesn't necessarily mean that all your time should be invested into trying new things. One of the main reasons I'm making this video in the first place is because I want to practice something that is important to me. Okay, yes, of course I want to improve at my craft, but practice is enough to do that. As much as people talk about it nowadays, I still think that physical and mental health are things that are still kind of neglected. Exercising is something I really enjoy, and I've never really had a problem staying committed to that. But in terms of mental health, I've never really known how to take care of that. So meditation is this thing that's existed for a really long time, but I've never understood it and I've never tried it until recently. So a friend of mine recommended Headspace recently, and I've given it a try for about 2 weeks now because there's a free trial. If I were to try and put into words, I guess I would say that I feel less tense and I'm finding it easier to focus on my work as well. So yeah, good work Headspace. Maybe offer some better prices for students though, but I think the one most important part about holidays is to understand that the only way to make the best of the holidays is to use the time to do things that I don't usually have as much time for. So if I manage to pass everything over the next 2 years, I'm gonna have 6 terms of uni left, which means 5 periods of holidays. I know I'm really lame for making this video in the first place. I definitely will not be making 5 more videos about making the best of my holidays or whatever. But the whole idea of this was to just try and figure out how to better spend my time, put it out there so that I could be held accountable, and hopefully not struggle with this anymore. Overall, I really enjoyed these holidays. I spent a lot of time with my family and friends. I got to try some new things.
Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth.
And I made this weird video about it. You know, it'd be really fantastic to hear how you spend your holidays, so I'd love to have that conversation in the comments. I definitely have a lot to learn. Yeah, also maybe consider liking the video and subscribing if you want. Also, I've been working on some really cool YouTube ideas recently, so maybe that's another reason to consider pressing that red button. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.